Imagine a world on the very brink of profound change, where the clang of steel, the hiss of steam, these weren't just background noise. They were actually rewriting the rules of warfare. This isn't some, distant fantasy. This is the American Army between 1848 and 1860.
Right.
It's a period people often overlook, but it really held all the vital seeds of the Civil War, a conflict that would erupt just a few short years later and, well, transform the nation forever.
You've hit on something really crucial there. It's fascinating because the technological advancements happening globally, the Industrial Revolution really hitting its stride, were starting to ripple through everything.
Yeah.
And that forced even a, let's face it, notoriously conservative institution like the military to adapt, sometimes pretty reluctantly, to a whole new future.
Absolutely. So today we're taking a deep dive into precisely how the United States Army transformed during these pivotal years. And our lens for this will be the interwoven journeys of two young cadets, Nathaniel McAllister and James Tanner. We're going to trace their personal lives, their professional growth, as they witness and actually help shape these dramatic shifts in military tech and tactics.
That's a great way to approach it.
And you'll see how these innovations, alongside those deepening national divisions, fundamentally affected the battles and, ultimately, the outcome of the Civil War. It's kind of a shortcut to understanding the complex forces at play.
Exactly. And our insights for this deep dive come primarily from Steel and Honor, From Cadets to Captains by Tom O'Connor. We'll also be drawing on his complimentary vlogs.
Right, the vlogs.
Yeah, they offer some great expert perspective on key figures. Think Winfield Scott, Robert E. Lee, Ulysses S. Grant, plus detailed analysis of that really pivotal Delafield Commission.
Ah, yes, the commission. We'll definitely get into that.
It's a rich tapestry, Personal stories playing out against this backdrop of immense national change. It shows how individual choices, the foresight of these officers, directly influence the grand sweep of history.
So let's unpack this. Let's start at West Point, the crucible, right? Where future leaders were being forged. And we begin on a really momentous day, Graduation Day, June 1848.
The setting itself is just iconic, isn't it? That first light of dawn creeping over the Hudson River, hitting those formidable granite walls of the United States Military Academy. You can almost feel the air thick with anticipation. It's the culmination of 4 grueling years for the class of 1848. For these young men, it was the end of one journey and, well, the start of a completely unknown one.
And among these 38 cadets are our protagonists. Nathaniel McAllister from Pennsylvania, James Tanner from Virginia.
North and South.
Exactly. They arrived as strangers, but that brutal, rigorous training, the shared hardships, the ambition, it forged this deep friendship. They became brothers.
Yeah.
And in a way, they were kind of a microcosm of the nation itself, weren't they? 2 distinct parts, North and South, seemingly united by common purpose, but with these inherent differences that would soon be, well, brutally tested.
Indeed. The day started like every day there, with that sharp bugle call of reveille at precisely 5:30 a.m., piercing the pre-dawn silence. Imagine the dimly lit dormitory, cadets stirring, instantly alert, muscle memory kicking in from years of this relentless routine. McAllister and Tanner moved with practiced precision, donning their immaculate dress gray uniforms, every fold perfect, every seam crisp.
And it wasn't just about looking sharp, was it?
Not at all. This meticulous discipline, it was designed to shape them physically and mentally into unflappable soldiers, ready for whatever the Army threw at them. And boy, the coming years would throw a lot.
And throw it, the Army would.
No.
By 6 a.m., they're in formation, marching with precise cadence to the mess hall. Colonel Henry Brewerton, the commandant, this towering, stern figure. He's at the entrance, scrutinizing every single cadet with this almost unnerving intensity.
You can picture it.
There was this quiet reverence in the mess hall, even over, platters of bacon and eggs, a shared understanding of the gravity of the day. But even then, whispers of change. Tanner leans over, murmurs to McAllister, "We're walking into a new world today, Nat." And McAllister, always perceptive, nods slowly, his eyes kind of distant, replying, "And it may not be the one we trained for."
Yeah.
What makes that little exchange so significant? How much did they really grasp the scale of transformation ahead?
Oh, it's a brilliant, really prescient moment. It captures the inherent tension of the era, doesn't it? They're sensing the ground shifting beneath them, even if they don't have the full picture yet.
Right.
They were trained for a traditional, almost Napoleonic kind of war lines of infantry, cavalry charges, static artillery. But the world around them, driven by industrialization, was rapidly making those old methods obsolete.
So that quiet apprehension.
It foreshadows that they were about to enter an army that would demand a completely different kind of thinking, a different kind of fighting. They sensed the rules were changing, even if they couldn't quite articulate how or why yet.
That's a powerful insight. So by 10 a.m., the cadet battalion assembles on the plain for the graduation parade. Their movements, flawless, shoulder arms, column wheels, right dress. Each motion executed with palpable pride, a sense of finality, a perfect picture of the Army as it had been.
But then, General Winfield Scott steps forward. He's there, resplendent in his blue frock coat, sword, gold epaulets flashing, and he delivers this powerful, almost prophetic address.
What did he say?
He tells the cadets, "The army you enter today will not resemble the army of your fathers. It will be forged by steam, by wire, and by movement."
Wow, steam wire movement.
Yeah, and then he adds, "Your minds must move faster than your feet, and your hearts must be stronger than your orders."
That is truly profound for 1848, especially coming from the Army's top general. What's the core takeaway here? How was Scott seeing the future of warfare so differently, and why was that so critical?
Well, the real insight, I think, is that Scott grasped something truly revolutionary. The Industrial Revolution wasn't just making better tools, it was fundamentally changing the tempo and scale of war itself.
Tempo and scale. He recognized that those old static battles would be replaced by conflicts driven by speed, logistics, and communication. It wasn't just about who had the sharpest bayonet anymore.
Right.
It was about who could move troops fastest by rail, who could resupply them most efficiently, who could communicate instantly across vast distances using the telegraph.
So, minds moving faster than feet.
Was a direct challenge to that traditional military mindset that prioritized drill over, say, strategic adaptability. This wasn't just about winning battles. It was about preventing total strategic collapse in a new industrialized kind of conflict.
A stark call to adapt or become obsolete.
Absolutely. A warning that, as we'll see, guys like McAllister and Tanner really understood deeply.
And amidst this profound, almost chilling message, you have these deeply personal moments. McAllister catches Claire's eye in the stands, her smile a brief anchor.
Tanner, jaw tight, accepts his commission, sees Eleanor give him a slight, reassuring nod. Both accepting their commissions, feeling that quiet, undeniable weight of responsibility settle on them, knowing they were stepping into this uncertain future that would demand everything.
Yeah, the personal toll right alongside the professional weight. The ceremony then concluded with that tradition of the plebes extending hands to their former superiors.
Right, passing the torch.
A symbolic act, integrating the new class, bidding farewell to the old, signifying continuity and passage. Then later that evening, at a Riverside Inn, you get the surprise double proposal. Tanner to Eleanor, McAllister to Clara.
A moment of joy.
Met with cheers, shared toasts, a moment of levity, of hope, amidst the serious undertones of their military futures. A poignant juxtaposition, really. Personal joy against this backdrop of an ominous national destiny.
And as the night wound down on the inn's porch, the fathers Judge Tanner, Colonel McAllister, Mr. Caldwell, quietly reflecting, thinking about their son's readiness for potential war, the immense burden they'd carry.
What do they say?
"They'll carry more than rifles," Caldwell said, his voice low. "They'll carry this country's burden." And that's not just a lament, is it? It's a profound hint at the deep national tensions simmering just beneath the surface.
Absolutely.
Tensions that these new officers, embodying the nation's fragile unity, would soon have to confront on a scale nobody could really imagine yet.
That reflection by the fathers truly encapsulates the era. Because life as a cadet at West Point, it was designed as a crucible, preparing them for exactly those burdens.
How so?
Daily life started before dawn, drum beats vibrating through the floorboards, then freezing water for washing, meticulous inspections. A single loose thread could earn a demerit.
Punishment tours.
Oh yeah, demerits and punishment tours, marching with a rifle for hours were constant threats. It shaped cadets into disciplined, resilient soldiers who could operate under immense pressure. This rigor was preparing them for a future where adaptability and mental fortitude would be just as crucial as physical discipline.
And beyond the physical, the academics were incredibly robust, weren't they? Far more advanced than typical civilian education back then.
Definitely. Cadets delved into higher math, advanced engineering, topography, military law. Nathaniel McAllister, for example, focused intensely on calculating cannon placements, ballistic trajectories, envisioning complex defensive strategies.
And Tanner.
Tanner honed his expertise in drawing and surveying, producing intricate maps, understanding terrain skills vital for charting unknown territories, and planning efficient troop movements in this evolving, expanding army. These studies weren't just theoretical, they were directly aimed at modernizing military practices.
But even in this intense environment, the divisions were there, mirroring the nation.
Oh, absolutely. The mess hall, supposedly regimented and silent, was also where cadets from North and South, especially after hours, fiercely debated politics. Slavery, states' rights, the big incendiary topics.
How did our guys handle it?
You'd hear these hushed but heated arguments. McAllister, from Pennsylvania, would often quietly bristle at the pro-slavery Southern views, his jaw tight. Tanner, from Virginia, would try to keep a fragile peace, but you could feel the pull of his home loyalties. It vividly highlights that growing fracture already present among the very men meant to defend national unity.
A powerful image of a divided future. Yet, despite the discipline and tension, there had to be moments of, well, being human.
Oh, thankfully, yes. Contraband books smuggled in, passed under blankets after lights out a mental escape, slide jokes during marches to break the monotony, chess games for quiet intellectual release, and friendships forged in whispered talks after lights out where they could momentarily set aside differences.
Necessary.
These small acts of defiance and camaraderie provided a vital human element, reminding them of their shared humanity in a rigid existence.
And through it all, the ultimate understanding. They'd soon wear the uniform of the United States Army, an institution meant to hold a dividing country together.
The weight of that mission even then must have been immense. They were being prepared not just for external threats, but for that devastating, looming internal conflict, a war that would pit brother against brother, West Point classmate against West Point classmate.
Okay, let's move into their early years of service, 1848 to 1850. Their paths start to diverge. July 4th, 1848, West Point post office orders arrive.
Crisp and official. McAllister gets assigned to quartermaster duty, San Antonio Depot, under General Taylor's logistical command, heading to the vast, challenging Texas frontier.
And Tanner.
Tanner's assigned to Captain Emery's boundary commission along the Rio Grande. Meticulous surveying of newly acquired territories. Very different assignments.
It was a soldier's farewell, wasn't it? July 5th, West Point railhead. No waving, no tears.
None. Just eyes locked between the new officers and their fiancés. A silent, ironclad farewell. Reflecting that stoic professionalism they were already embodying, a profound understanding of the sacrifices their path demanded.
They shared a Pullman compartment on the train, July 6th to 9th, with some classmates. Journeying west, seeing those long lines of coal cars, crates of black powder, ordnance supplies rumbling alongside them. The journey itself was a lesson in logistics, wasn't it?
It truly was. A living, moving lesson in the future of military logistics, hinting at the power of railroads. Tanner, ever observant, pointed out the telegraph lines stretching across the horizon, the dawn of rapid communication.
Revolutionizing command and control.
Exactly. McAllister, in turn, murmured, "Steel, wire, fire," gazing at the endless rails, predicting faster troop movement, better supplies, quicker comms.
And Tanner added that crucial insight, echoing Scott.
Right. The next war won't be about how far you march, but how fast you can be resupplied. A direct premonition of the logistical challenges that would define the Civil War, where moving men and material quickly would be paramount.
And it gets even more specific. At a stop near Wheeling, West Virginia, they talk to a locomotive engineer.
Yeah, and he's excitedly discussing these radical plans to mount 12-pounder cannons directly onto rail platforms.
Mobile artillery on rails.
He declared with a grin, "The day we put a cannon on rails is the day the battlefield moves." Tanner, recognizing the immense significance, immediately pulls out his notebook, sketching, taking meticulous notes. That single concept would become revolutionary in the Civil War, allowing rapid deployment of heavy firepower, changing battle dynamics.
Then, July 10th to 13th, they switched to river travel, boarding the Isabella in St. Louis. The strategic debate continues.
It does. Control the rivers, Tanner noted, tracing a map. You control the interior, seeing rivers as the established highways.
But McAllister countered.
Control the rails, you control time, understanding the strategic speed advantage of trains. And Eleanor, meeting them briefly in New Orleans, added that poignant observation, looking at the diverse crowd. This river carries more than trade. It carries a country trying to hold itself together.
The fractured nation, all moving on the same waterways.
Creole merchants, free black men, Irish deckhands, Southern planters highlighting the divisions, even as they shared the same space.